Podcast.
Perfect Saturday we got.
We got
80 degrees. Got U.S. Open on, brother. Gonna go out here and throw the football before all the big dogs tee off.
Ricky Fowler, brother, after 2 days, is leading this thing at 10 under.
What? No way.
He used to ride motocross.
He did.
His dad used to say all.
Yeah.
Every time Ricky Fowler's on TV, Dad's like, he used to ride motocross.
Dad used to ride dirt bikes, so that's where that comes from. Is Dad's got an affinity to Ricky Fowler.
I'm sure he's watching pro motocross at High Point this weekend in Pennsylvania.
Maybe that's why Dad plays Cobras too, because Fowler is a Cobra guy.
I didn't think he played Cobra anymore.
Doesn't he?
I think he plays Ping. He's got a big P.
Oh, that's Puma.
Oh, is it Puma?
Puma,
maybe
yeah.
he still plays
he still
Cobras
plays
then.
Cobra then.
Well, we wanted to get into, on this episode of Smith Boys Podcast, the big doings of the PGA LIV merger.
I feel shocked.
Yeah.
Right.
So what the hell is that about?
This was extremely toxic for a period of time in the golf world, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. PGA people hated the LIV people. LIV people hated the PGA people. It was basically like the Sharks and the Jets. It was the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah, it was nasty. So this came out Tuesday, this past week or whatever, that they're going to be merging in some way or another, right? So I'm reading this here. So the PGA Tour and LIV announced on Tuesday the creation of a new entity that would combine their assets as well as those of the DP World Tour and change golf's governance. The PGA Tour would remain a nonprofit organization and would retain full control over how its tournaments are played. But all the PGA Tour's commercial business, any rights to the business, such as extremely lucrative rights to televise deals, tournaments, and networking, would be owned by a new unnamed for-profit entity that is currently called NewCo. NewCo will also own LIV as well as the commercial and business rights of the DP World Tour.
No shit.
Oh, boy, howdy. That's a lot.
Yeah. So,
Now, what surprises me, other than all of this, because I don't think anybody saw this coming, as far
I would
as
say no.
I mean, maybe people deep into the golf world, like that have like stock or like have stakes in the golf world, might have known this. But as far as the general public is concerned, I don't think anybody knew about this.
It seemed like it was too salty on either side, right?
Well, that and it was so new because LIV has just started. Started.
Let's talk a little bit about LIV. Like, what is LIV, right? LIV is owned by, from what I know, it was created by...
Well, it's a shitty golf tour. That's what it is.
Okay, well, but how it's created was Greg Norman and the Saudi Arabians, right? Kind of came together.
Greg Norman's been working on this for years.
So he wanted to basically make an alternative to the PGA, right?
Yes, sir.
So Greg Norman's kind of a business guy, the Shark, his wine,
hell of a golfer
clothes,
in his day.
Hell of a golfer back in his day, right?
He was Dad's guy.
Yeah, he had he had the great hat and everything. I mean, you could pick him out from a mile away. Like, oh yeah, that's Greg Norman. So, in combination with the Saudi Arabian money, right?
Blood money.
Yeah, they threw oil money. They threw a lot of money towards guys like Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson.
Oh, they threw money at everybody. They offered Tiger like $500 million.
Yeah, to just basically go around and play tournaments in the Eastern Hemisphere of the world.
Yeah,
right?
like half as many tournaments. Like you don't play as much, and you're making like 10 times the amount of money.
So, lo and behold,
so
a lot of guys jumped ship, though, right?
Honestly, why wouldn't you? In terms of if you're just worried about money and you're a business guy, why wouldn't you? You would just take half as many dates, half as many tournaments, and make 10 times the amount of money.
Be smart about it.
If anything, you're stupid if you don't do it. I get the PGA loyalists though, the guys like JT, the guys like Rory, Tiger, Max Homa, Rahm. I don't know. Your PGA loyalists, you want to play with the best players in the world.
Nah.
They're on the PGA Tour.
I get all that, but at the same time,
well, how much money do you need?
Your career is not that long.
I don't know, but how much money do you need though? These guys that really aren't even that good. When I say that good, I mean they're best players in the world. Like Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas is, he's a big name, makes a ton of money through endorsements.
He ain't worth shit as a golfer, in my book.
Makes a ton of money through endorsements, makes a ton of money playing these tournaments, but he doesn't really win anything. He's got a couple majors, but in terms of like actual tour win, he doesn't win a lot.
No.
You know, so same thing with guys like Max Homa. They make a ton of money, but so maybe they just see it as I don't need the $200 million to go to live to play. I'm comfortable. Well,
Oh, you cunt! What a cunt!
show's over. So maybe they don't need the $200 million contract like these guys got to go play at live. Maybe
See,
they're
I just disagree with that, brother. Fundamentally,
just take the money and run.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just silly to me.
Right.
I mean, it's just absolutely silly.
I'm not going to fight.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Because in 10, 20, 30 years, nobody's going to care that I stuck with the PGA and I didn't have, but I am going to care that I ain't got $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's
like,
where this
could
is,
be an asinine way.
That's where this is all coming full circle now, is because these guys that run the live, Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, DeChambeau, Koepka, Phil Mickelson, all these guys that got them huge paydays.
DeChambeau.
They're allowed to come back to the PGA Tour now. Now, I think they have to play to get their card back, which is no big deal because they will, because they're some of the best players in the world.
Take them out to a putt-putt course.
But they're also going to get fined. I've heard that, in quotes, heavily fined to come back. Now, heavily fined, they're going to fine them to come back because the PGA said, like, if you come back, you're going to get, there's a heavy fine.
You can't do that now.
I don't know. That's just what was said.
I don't think you can do that.
What does this fine consist of? Is this fine consist of what, $50,000 or?
It better not consist of anything.
$50 million? I don't
think that's right.
I don't know. That's just what
I mean, no. I mean, morally, I don't think that's right at this point. You're fining them, but yet you just went to the dark side yourself. You can't fine somebody for that.
I understand where you're coming from.
That's
completely,
asinine.
brother. I get it. So, what strikes me as odd about this is I'm kind of thinking like, what if this was the LIV Tour's plan all along?
It could have been.
Was to maybe just kind of start this thing, throw a ton of money at these guys, these select guys, go for about a year, and then buy out the PGA Tour and start, basically have control of the PGA Tour and merge them back. Was this a coup, brother?
Well, I mean, you would have to say though, is like you paid a lot of money for these guys to come over here, and so. Maybe you thought all along that this was gonna, like, I never really thought all along that these guys were gonna stay a part of LIV Tour, like some of these big name guys, and never play in the United States again. Like, I never thought that was gonna be a reality because those guys are just way too big to just leave and never play like in another Masters or another, British Open. I mean,
well, they still could play in those tournaments because Koepka just won the Masters.
Oh yeah, okay, but I mean, it's like just I don't know.
Or not the Masters. Koepka won the PGA Championship.
Yeah, but it just didn't seem really like it was going to be a long-term way to go for all these guys to be over there and never play in the United States again.
What strikes me as unfair is that these guys that did jump ship is they took a huge payday to go over there.
For sure.
And they get to keep their money and come back and just hop right back on the PGA Tour.
I don't have any problem with it.
Where the guys that didn't go to LIV
yeah, but that was their choice. It was their choice not to go.
I know, brother. I see both sides. I'm just saying.
If you don't want to go, if you didn't want to go, and you had the opportunity to go, you need to shut your mouth. Shut up! Because you had as equal opportunity as them, but you decided not to go. So you can't be upset that they went. That was their choice. They made a lot more money than you. You had the exact same opportunity to go and turned it down. Well, that's on you.
I think they have the right to be upset that they can just come back willy-nilly though, and not pay any punishment.
No, you just merged.
I know, but they didn't know the PGA was going to merge. They should be pissed off at the PGA for
exactly not at the player. Not at the players. They should be pissed off at the PGA.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're pissed off at the players, then you're pissed off. This is misdirected.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. It's a good point.
I mean, like you're only in this world a finite amount of time. Go out and make as much money as you possibly can. I'm a capitalist through and through. Quit wasting, quit trying to die on the moral high ground because a lot of people don't care. And a lot of these businesses don't give a shit. You're just a number to them. So go out and make what you can. Now, as far as the players that are on the PGA, like Rahm, who came out and said something, was like, yeah, he was kind of pissed off about it. I heard Rahm, I can't remember what he said, but he was not happy about it. Well, you had the opportunity to go.
Well, it would be interesting to get Rory's opinion on it because Rory was the most outspoken about this whole thing, staying loyal to the PGA and against the LIV, and had a lot of negative things to say about the LIV Tour and the guys that went over there. And then now they join up and. It's like, well, what does he got to say now?
Well, he said right here, McElroy said that he come to terms with Saudi money in golf. Honestly, I've just resigned myself to the fact that this is, it is what's going to happen.
I mean, it's true. They have no control over it. They just go out and play. They can't control the business side of it, of what the tours do.
I just think golf is one of those games where it's like it's truly you against the course, right? It's one-on-one amongst many, though.
Yeah.
And it's like if you go out and just play the course and beat the course, you're not really playing against anybody else. I mean, you are, but at the same time, it's like it's really the most wonderful game in the world in the sense where it's really between the 5 inches between your
everybody's
ears.
playing against the course, and it's like the winner is going to be the person that beats the course the best,
for sure.
So
for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see where things go from here, though.
It's one of the most beautiful games there is, golf.
It's going to be interesting to see where things go from here in terms of the players acclimating back to each other.
And you know who deserves a lot of this money? Is Tiger Woods. He has so much sweat equity into this shit. You know what I mean? It's like he's made golf from 1997 to what it is now. Like all these guys wouldn't even be fucking golfers if it wasn't for Tiger Woods and making the kind of money that they are. It's like, so he's got so much sweat equity in this shit.
What does it say about Tiger? Because Tiger turned down like $500 million.
I just don't think he can play it. Physically, I don't think he can.
Well, that would, if anything, it'd be better for him because it's less tournaments to play in.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He could have easily taken a half $1 billion payday to go over
but like, dude, the guy's probably a billionaire as it is. So it's like, once you become a billionaire, I don't know if it really matters all that much anymore. It wouldn't matter to me. I mean, if I have another billion, what's the difference? I mean, I'm never going to spend the billion I got. But you want to get up to that point, in my opinion. You get up to that point, then it's like, okay, whatever.
So what do you think happens from here? You think it's a smooth transition, and you think these guys just come right back over here, and we're going right back to how golf was over the last many years? Or
I think in time this will all be ironed out. All these little wrinkles will just be ironed out. I think you get through.
I think you're gonna have some animosity to start, but I mean you're gonna.
But it's hard to argue though. It's like Koepka's already won. Right, like these guys coming back from the LIV Tour.
Koepka almost won twice. He almost won the Masters.
Yeah, and it's like you got the U.S. Open here. I mean, you never know. Like, what if Dustin Johnson just goes on a tear today?
Yeah, Johnson is in sixth right now in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he's only 4 strokes behind, right? So I mean, this is Saturday is moving day, as they always say. So I could easily see him coming up and winning. So it doesn't really shock me that a lot of the guys coming back from LIV are right at the top of the leaderboards in all these tournaments, and they're going to continue to be. And I think in a year or two, this will just be like, oh yeah, remember when that happened?
I think so.
That's all it's going to be.
Because it all happened so quick.
Yeah.
Too. Like LIV was born and killed in a matter of like 2 to 3 years.
Well, and the thing about it now is,
what do you think about Greg Norman getting shit on?
I really don't know much about it other than what I heard.
Greg Norman,
he got ziggy.
Yeah, he was basically the scapegoat. Yeah. It was like Greg Norman was the guy that basically brought LIV to fruition and created it and got all this money to make it, create it, promote it, and then once they merged with PGA, it's just. He's gone.
Well, he's had to have made some money out of the deal.
I would think so.
And plus, he's a very savvy business guy. I would imagine he's just fine financially. But he's a competitor, though. Like, that's the thing about Greg Norman.
Just go play on the senior tour, man.
I mean, maybe he's got other ventures outside of, like, just playing golf every day. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like that type of guy.
Well, brother, we got U.S. Open run, moving day.
Saturday.
The head honchos here aren't going to tee off for about another 3 hours. Ricky Fowler,
literally.
Ricky Fowler was leading at 10 under, brother.
I just can't believe. Oh my God!
So we got Fowler at 10 under in first. We got Wyndham Clark at 9 under in second. Rory and Xander Schauffele are tied at 8 under.
And Scheffler's right at 5 under. So like all these
Dustin Johnson is in sixth at 6 under. With 2 days to go here, do you think Fowler holds on and wins this and wins his first major?
No. I hope he does, but I don't think he will.
You're a Fowler guy.
Yeah. Dad is. Dad I know is pulling for Fowler.
Dad loves Fowler.
I'm rooting for him just because I've seen all these other frigs win, and I don't really care to see him win. Ricky's never won one, and he's a SoCal guy, and this is in SoCal. So I could see a huge day.
He used to ride motocross.
Yeah, a huge weekend for Ricky.
But you don't think he's going to?
No.
So who do you think's going to win it then? Since you don't think
I could see McIlroy and I could see Scheffler making a drive because I think this is one of those courses. If you're a good striker of the golf ball, which Scheffler is probably the best. I think eventually he's gonna get on top of this course, and I think today is gonna be the day. Okay. I think you're gonna see Scheffler like shoot like a 63.
I don't think Ricky holds on to it either. Pretty Ricky's what they call him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to withstand the next 2 days. If he does, I'm pulling for him too. If he does, I'd be happy to see him win. But I got the guy that is in third right now, 2 under. I'm going to say Xander Schauffele wins this.
No way. Dude, he was starting to fall apart yesterday. You'd be better bet would be McIlroy.
Yeah, McIlroy always falls apart lately too. I'm going to say Xander Schauffele
Also, he's
wins.
got a pencil up his A.
He does. I'm going to go on a limb. Schauffele. I'm not really a Schauffele guy, but
you're not a Schauffele guy.
No, but I think he's a guy that's been close a lot and never really gotten that big win. And I don't know. I just got a feeling like when I pick Rahm to win the Masters.
Yeah.
I think Schauffele's going to win.
Well,
this.
I got to be honest with you. I hope he doesn't win because he does nothing for me.
Me neither.
So,
he doesn't do anything for me either.
Like if
but
he wins the U.S. Open, I'm like, who gives a shit?
He does nothing for me either. But he's in a good position right now. He's still got a whole 2 days to go. He's only 2 strokes back.
Now you got me thinking, yeah, I really want Ricky to win then. Because if Schauffele...
Oh, I want Ricky to win. I really want Ricky to win. I'm pulling for Ricky for sure.
I just don't like your pick.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really give a shit. You can eat my ass.
I'll eat your ass. I will.
That's who I'm picking to win it.
I hate your pick.
Could be Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark could win it.
I'm going to pick Moonwee Lee.
Minwoo Lee?
Yeah, Moon. Yeah.
And don't count Dustin Johnson out.
Holy fuck. We go down.
Don't count Dustin Johnson out either, though. Yeah. Dustin Johnson's only 4 back, and he hasn't teed off yet either. So you never know. But
that's a little of our take on the LIV PGA merger.
Yeah, maybe when the Open comes up here in a couple months, maybe we'll do a podcast on that too.
British Open is it's called just the Open.
Yeah, it's at St. Andrews.
Well, it's the British Open.
Yeah.
Because to me, the Open really
that's
is
a fun
massive.
one to watch because that course is brutal.
Oh, it's at St. Andrews? Yeah, that is a brutal one.
Yeah.
What is there, like 196 bunkers on that course or something like that?
It's the fairways and greens are
That's where
crazy,
golf
so
was invented, right?
I
St.
think
Andrews.
So until then, Smith Boys.
People go bye-bye.